it just told me something weird about YouTube again. So hopefully I'm live there. Sometimes this thing has a little mind of its own and it does its own thing. Technology, doesn't it? Anyway, how are you all this morning? It's a beautiful, beautiful sunny day here in Auckland. It's getting colder. It's sort of getting colder, but I'm itching to put on some more winter clothes. I did actually this week, it got quite chilly. This week I did dip into my jumper stash and I have got a sweatshirt on today, my sweatshirt. I'm going to talk to you about that. But I am just kind of I'm in two minds. I'm enjoying the slightly nice weather, but I am feeling autumn in the air and this slow creep towards cold weather and knitting and turning on the fire and hot stews. And I'm really feeling like I'm ready for it, even though we haven't had a summer like at all here in Auckland. It's just been absolutely rubbish. But I don't know if you're feeling it too. Are you feeling it too? How are you, Sabrina Morena? Nice to see you. Sunny here in West Melton, as usual. A little cooler, but a lovely sunny day. It's definitely a little whisper. There's just a whisper in the air you can hear of winter wanting to creep in the door. Certainly cooler down south now. Yes, I've heard you guys have had some pretty big rain and things down there. Hey, everybody from Melbourne. How you doing in Melbourne and Oregon, USA? Nice to see you. I wonder how you're doing over there. You have similar weather to us in Auckland. You have, but Oregon has fairly similar kind of climate to us here. But it's still stinking hot in Sydney. Becky, what are we going to do? We're going to have to get you some more summer tops, I think. You've had a couple of autumn days, but the sun is out again down in Christchurch Way. And Amanda, good morning. You had to light your fire last night. Where are you? That is far too early to be lighting your fire. You run out of wood. Hi from Napier. Lovely to see you. I hope you guys are doing okay there in Napier and the sun is shining and things are getting cleaned up. I hope so. It's just going to be a slow process. Hi, it's windy and raining in East Sussex in the UK. I just love it that everybody comes from all over the world and you just kind of roll on in and we all say hi. Morning. It's a beautiful morning out walking. Excellent. I'm glad to see it. So you can see I've got the sun on me. It will pass as the time goes on. I'm going to have to get a blind or something, I think, because I think in the winter it's all going to be lower on me. And if I have a sunny day, I'll be shot with the sunshine when I'm trying to talk to you. So I first of all wanted to remind you that the doors for Wardrobe Toolbox are still open. We've had a whole bunch of new people come. It's really exciting to see people joining. And the doors are still open until Tuesday, the 28th of March. So you still have a bit of time. If you want to go and have a little read about what happens in Wardrobe Toolbox, head over to the website, wardrobetoolbox.com, and you can see what's inside. And don't forget to go back to my podcasts from last week and the week before and the week before that. There's 3 of them where I give you lots of different information about Wardrobe Toolbox. The first one I talked about setting yourself up for knitting. And it covered those kind of core things that we cover in Wardrobe Toolbox that actually make us feel more confident about having a bash and creating things that fit us. And the second one, I talked all about what is inside the doors. Did I talk about that in the second one or the third one? The next one one of them is about what is inside the doors, what happens in there. Like it's this mystery behind the doors, but it's actually really fun. It's a fun mystery. So I talk all about that, what to expect. When you get there, remember it's not school. You don't come in. It's not coming in to be tested or to keep up or this kind of crazy pace of, I must be making all the things. We don't have that vibe over there. It is a place to come. If you want to make things, if you love knitting, it's a good place to come. But if you want to make things that fit you, if you want to sort of really dig into what do I actually want to wear, I would love a handmade wardrobe. I kind of don't know how to get there, or maybe I do know how to get there, but I'm still just wanting to make tweaks to make things fit me beautifully. Or maybe you're like, I am all in on this handmade wardrobe and I just want to be surrounded by people that are all in as well. So all of those people, there's a place for you inside Wardrobe Toolbox. And we talk about some of these core things, fiber and swatching and measurements and and style and modifications and all of those things so that at the end of it, or during it, you start to feel more confident about taking risks, because they are kind of little risks, aren't they? And making things that fit you and make you feel amazing. And that's the thing we hear over and over, though, that thing. I just can't, I never thought, I trying things I never thought I would. This fits me, blowing people's minds. And also, I have met so many lovely people. Those are the things we hear all the time. But it's not a case of, oh, someone's going to test you. Did you remember that you needed to know about blah, 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 blah? No, nobody is ever going to do that. You can ask every question you have. There are no silly questions. You can ask questions and people will be like, oh, we covered that. Now, let me just see. I'll find a link for you and go back and have a little look. And don't you remember we talked about that? Oh, that was so interesting. Oh, and someone says, oh, that one's interesting too. And we're like that. We're very, very supportive. And we're all in it together. We're all just regular people in it together. Amanda said, I finally watched our Carson Masterclass from a couple of months ago, and just do the things as you have the time. Exactly. As you have the time, you can go and have a little binge in there and catch up on inspiring masterclasses. Or maybe you just want to have a session on, actually, it's time I sat down and I really thought about yarn. And I want to watch a whole lot of videos about yarn. And there's all that stuff in there for you. So I talked about that. And I also talked about the patterns inside Wardrobe Toolbox that are exclusively available to the members of Wardrobe Toolbox. So, every second month, so it'll be the first month, the third month, and the fifth month in a season. So on the odd months, you get a pattern and that it just arrives in the library. You don't see the blood, sweat, and tears that I put into it in the back and the mad race to the finish. I'm the one that does all the racing. But you get this pattern that arrives in your library, and often the lessons will complement it. Sometimes there are tutorials that are added to it as well, and we'll talk about it, and you could ask questions about it, and we can knit it together. But those they're punctuated through the season, and they're not available to anyone else. They're just for you, not anybody else, not for ages. So it's usually about a year before I release them to everybody else. So you get to enjoy them just as a Wardrobe Toolbox special. And I had a big pile of knits to show you. There are 5 still from last seasons that haven't been released to everybody else. And that's a mixture of shawls and summer tops and sweaters and socks, all sorts of things. So it's a really nice chance, because when you get in the door, I know, Becca, I was actually just thinking that when you said that, and I said that my testers do a bit of racing too. We are going to end that scenario, just not quite yet. But anyway, when you get in the door of Wardrobe Toolbox, you will see all of the patterns. You will have access to all of the lessons and all of the masterclasses and all of the content, and you'll have the opportunity to buy the patterns. The patterns that come with prior seasons, you won't get all in one go. I mean, you can because you just can pay month by month. So, it's a lot of patterns in there. But if you want access to the old patterns, some of them you might already have, so you won't need them all. But the ones that you can't get hold of elsewhere, you could go in there and it's like a pick and mix. You can choose. You can buy some of those while you're in there, and then you've got access to them too. So that's what I talked about. If you want to know more about it, but the doors shut on the Tuesday, the 28th. Everybody who's signed up should now have an email in their inbox. So if you haven't had an email, race over and have a little look. There should be an email waiting for you in your inbox that is from me, have my face there, and I'm talking to you and I'm saying, welcome to Wardrobe Toolbox. And I'm telling you a little bit about what's happening just over the next week or two, because the doors officially open on I think it's the 3rd of April. And then once the doors open properly, this creak and the vault opens, and then in you go to this, it's a palace, actually. It's a palace inside. So you go in. And in the meantime, you can join our lounge, and I can see people are already jumping in there, which is really lovely to see. And I'll come and have a chat to you over there in the next week. And you can also come to our knit night, which will be next week. So I'll send you emails about all of those things, but check your inbox. You should have an email waiting for you. And when you sign up, an email should hit your inbox and just telling you what's coming. So I will send you more emails, but wardrobetoolbox.com, you've still got a bit of time to sign up. After that, after the 28th, shut the doors again, and they won't open for ages. So you might want to get in now while you can. Okay, I thought what I would do is I put on my sweatshirt today because yesterday I think I wore, what did I wear yesterday? I can't remember. I don't actually remember what I wore yesterday. But the other day, the day before, I think I wore my Monday. I wore my lovely top that is from Wardrobe Toolbox. His name's gone Paloma. I wore my Paloma top with the little grey top I've worn here. Has a little lace on the shoulders. I wore that on Monday. Oh, I know what I wore on Tuesday. I wore my new version of Maiden, my Maiden sweater, which I'll show you a Maiden in a second. The one that I knitted for myself out of the merino. I wore that yesterday. I actually have a blank. I'm drawing a blank on yesterday. But anyway, and today I put on, it feels like sweatshirt weather here, really sweatshirt weather. So I put on my Tui sweater, my Tui top. It's my sweatshirt vibe because she is half linen and half Falkland merino. It's a beautiful blacky yarn. It's a little boxy sweatshirt. It has quite a nice little neck on it. I like the neck. Has a little tubular bind off on the top. It's nice and simple. It's not too deep. It's not too shallow. It's just like, Goldilocks neck. And it has nice slimline sleeves. It's not overly baggy. And it has this nice, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Can you see? It has these nice ribbed feature that goes on either side, meets underneath and travels down the bottom. And then in the cuffs, I have the little folded back colorful cuff, and I have it at the bottom as well. And it has a high-low hem. It just feels beautifully relaxed and casual and really good. Why can I hear ringing? I can hear ringing. I don't know what that is. I'm going to ignore it. I bet it's my daughter trying to ring me. It'll be someone like that. Hopefully it goes away. Anyway, it's this beautiful in-between. I'm just going to turn off things in case it's me. It's a beautiful in-between sweatshirt. So, yeah, I really enjoy wearing this one. And it's one I reach for a lot in these in-between weathers. I'm just going to check in with your comments because I feel like I went a bit funny then because I heard ringing, which is most odd. Okay. Yes, the testers that do racing. Currently working on the test for next month's pattern. It's very hard to put down. It is very hard to put down. I found it incredibly difficult to put that pattern down. For the one that's coming up for the new season, the one that you'll get when you first join, that I just kept wanting to knit more, like another row, another section, another row. I could not put that down. It's very addictive, that pattern. I'll just say that. You might want to think about when you start it, because if you have other things to do, like cook the dinner, that may not happen because you may not be able to put it down. Someone said it's Aladdin's cave, this Wardrobe Toolbox. It's Aladdin's cave with everything you need to know, but you were too afraid to ask. Absolutely. That's just what it is. It's Aladdin's cave. Beautiful. Paloma's my all-time favorite. Oh, I don't know who's saying that, but that is nice to hear. I love Paloma. I wear her all the time. I want a second Paloma, actually. Okay, so sweatshirt. So then I was thinking, actually, every year when we get to these shoulder seasons, I'm always reminded about that group of knits that really work well in those shoulder seasons. So we have our deep winter knits, don't we? And some of us have a deeper winter than others, but we have our deep winter knits. We have our chunkier knits and our cozier knits and our very, very oozy soft knits and our hats and all of these things. We have our deep winters, and we have more, as I put more out. We have more of our summer knits, which I really love summer knits, but we have more of our little tank tops and our little short tops. And my Urchin has been a super popular one. Lots of you have knitted Urchin, little Adira with the little keyhole neckline. I've got the Nula, the one with also has that, but it's a chunkier version of this one with lace on its shoulder. It's a bit different. We've got all of those as well. But then in between, we have this period of kind of sinking in or coming out of cooler weather, and we're not quite into the summery top. Some days we might be, but more we're starting to reach for, as we're going into winter, we're starting to reach for wintry knits, and as we're coming out of winter and into summer, we're starting to reach for those what we see as more summery knits, but they're not quite summer knits. So there's these shoulder knits, and this is one of them. Tui to me is one of them. Now, a part of that is the general vibe of it. I grew up in Auckland. It was a big sweatshirt, in the 80s. we got into sweatshirts in a big way, the all-American sweatshirts or something, I think they were called. I don't think they had anything American about them in the slightest, but they were cotton sweatshirts and they were sloppy. They weren't huge, but they were sloppy enough. And this just takes me back to those days of being a teenager and having something comfortable. And I put on something comfortable and I can move around in it. It's just a layer. It's not like overly hot. But we've got other things as well. That the other thing about this I was going to say, though, is that the other reason I feel like it's more of an in-between knit is because of the yarn I used. And I'm going back again to Wardrobe Toolbox. This is the kind of thing we talk about. So I used this 50-50 linen merino, Falkland merino. And the result is it's warm. It's definitely got a warmth to it, but it's not hot. I don't get really hot in this. I wouldn't wear this on a super cold day because it's just a layer. Like, and underneath I have a little like cami, like a stretch knit. Some people might wear it as a top. I don't tend to, but it's like a little stretch knit cami top that I can wear underneath, and I just feel fine, even in the sun. It's that cool enough brisk air, and I just feel fine. I'm not melting in this because it's not overly woolly. It has such a lot of linen in it that it really, summarizes it a little bit. It's a ridiculous word. Anyway, I just made that one up. So I was thinking there are other tops like that though too. So the other one that I have in this yarn, the same yarn, the blacker yarn, is this one. It's the 50-50 merino linen, is the maiden, and this is the one that I've just remade for myself. So this is the original that I made, which it does take that sweatshirt style just a little further because it has that sort of baseball-esque feel to it with the stripy neck and the stripy bits and pieces all the way through it. I've done this turned up hem again. It's really cute and fun, and it has the raglan, and it has that nice shape to the raglan too, that sort of S shape that we like, that gives us a good fit. So this one just took it a little bit further, maiden, and I wear this one a lot as well this sort of time because of those things. It's got that casual feel to it, and it's not too wintry. But you remember I just said before I knitted another one of these in this beautiful, beautiful dark green single spun merino not long ago, and I wore that the other day, and that one reminded me, I haven't got it here, but it falls to me, it falls in the category, I can get away with it sometimes with those, and it falls in the category of these jumpers. I've got this one which is wave crest. It's got these cute little bobbles on it here, and I've also got my floozy too. And I wear those sort of similarly. They're just slightly warmer. This one needs a jolly good deep hill, but they're slightly warmer. They have merino in them. They have, they're a lot more wool. They're woolly. And my other one is like that too. But because they're a really light fingering and there's a little bit of fullness, just a little bit of fullness to the jumper, I find it a bit cooler to wear. So it's almost like it's a couple of degrees cooler than it is today. And then all of a sudden, these fingering jumpers, they just really come into their own. And so they do fall into this sort of mid-season category. I'll show you them in just a second. Again, I'll just read your comments. A lot of my 4-ply cardies fall into the in-between group. Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's one too I've totally forgotten to grab, which is in my box, which is my Rebel. And that totally falls into this in-between category because it's just a nice little layer to pop on my shoulders. The electric yellow, although I wear that one all winter, layering it up, that electric yellow is so fresh, and it's a great because it sits open. I don't feel overly hot in it. Was the yarn hard to knit with, this one I'm wearing? No, it wasn't actually. And I think that in my experimenting, I found that linen is a lot easier on my hands than cotton, and linen mixed with wool is easier on my hands. So I think it could be the amount of wool in it. So it's that. It's something to do with it's the linen. The linen I find better anyway, but certainly when you put wool in it, it just has that little bit more recovery. So it bounce spring. Doesn't have much, but it has a little bit added to it. So I didn't find it hard on my hands, actually. That was actually okay. Someone said, I've worn my wave crest so much, it's really faded now, and I've patched both elbows. That I love to hear. I absolutely love to hear that. So this is wave crest. I am lucky because I knit all of the jerseys. Like, you guys knit some of them. I knit all of them. I know some of you know all of them as well, but I knit all of them. So I have all of them. So I have a lot to circle through. So I haven't had to patch any of my elbows yet because I just get another jumper out and then I can go through them. But this one, I do wear this one a heap. I can see that we're just about at the weather. We have the odd day here and there where I'm reaching for this. Partly the color is still light. It's not like this super dark, deep color. And so it has a sort of a lighter feel to it. But also this yarn is just great. That nice light fingering. It's easy to wear. I wouldn't wear much, if anything, underneath it. And I just throw that over a pair of jeans or a pair of trousers and I'm good to go. I really enjoy wearing this top. It's got that cute little pattern at the bottom of the cuffs as well. So that's Wave Crest. So she's a nice yoke. And the Floozy 2 is the jumper version of Floozy. And I've also got her in that nice light fingering yarn, and this is the cashmere merino silk, I think, something absolutely divine like that. And this one is nice to wear. It's slightly warmer, but again, it's just lovely to wear. It's really easy to wear. Look at the pills on that, would you? Look at the pills on that. I'm going to have to depill it before I get that one on me again. It's amazing how you can go on and wear them and not notice the pills. Actually, look at the back compared to the front. I don't have those pills on the back. So that, my friends, is life. I think it's it's seat belts and probably sitting at my desk, probably my arms like that on my front, eating dinner. That is life. But anyway, we all get pills. So, but this one obviously I wear that one quite a lot. It's easy. I love the colors of this one. It's really nice to wear. And if I can just, put on a bit of jewelry with that, and you can feel instantly smart, or just instantly like, oh, it's so easy to feel like you can kind of put yourself together a little bit when you've got a little bit of decoration in your jersey already. So there were two more I wanted to show you very quickly. The other one is Dolly, and she's also a yoke cardigan, and I have two Dollies, and one I would wear at this time of year, this one. And the other one I tend to wear in the winter, just a little bit colder than this. And that's the long sleeve, long body one. And she's also in that beautiful, rich aubergine color. She's in a different yarn. So she's in the a merino nylon yarn. I think it's the machinist yarn. No, it's not. I think it's something different from Katrine at Yarn Floozy. I don't remember the name, but it's beautiful, beautiful, robust sort of merino. Nice round yarn. But this one I wear at this time, and it's sort of shorter. It's got 3/4 sleeves, and of course the colors really help, when you want something a little lighter. If someone says, I can hear your rooster and then my rooster and then your rooster, they're talking to each other. Oh, that's classic. Across the ocean in Melbourne. That's funny. So this one is also one that's easy peasy to wear, and you just can pop her on your shoulders, and it just gives you a little bit of warmth around your shoulders. Now, you could, of course, grab a shawl if you wanted to. You could definitely just chuck a shawl on at this time, and that would give you a little bit of warmth too. I tend to go for cardigans. That tends to be my go-to. If I want just a little bit of warmth on my shoulders, I tend to go for cardigans, which like this one. But the one I go for all the time is still this one. I wear this cardigan so much. And this is my original timely Well, this is the second actually, because there was an original, but this is a timely cardigan that came with the pattern. So I still wear this one all the time. And it's shorter and the 3/4 sleeves, and it's that beautiful yarn. And here again is where the yarn is doing some of the work for us, because it feels cool. The difference between these ones and this one is this feels cool. It's quite lovely because it's the merino bamboo silk, and it's cool to touch. So it's still different from these ones where you have quite a woolly feel to them. This one is sleek, cool, smooth, and it's just so easy to wear. I just thoroughly recommend this yarn. It comes from Skein, Australia. She has that beautiful yarn. Other people probably do too, but that's who I got this one from. So it makes a great summer weight yarn. You can wear this. This is one that will be with you from summer and then will come with you into autumn. Some of the others you'll pick up in autumn and wear those into winter. But this is definitely one that will come with me from summer. So timely is Timely is still a very big favorite of mine in my wardrobe. So yeah, I just wanted to go through with you just to be thinking again that it's, when we're planning our handmade wardrobe, and we often, when we think knitting, we'll think deep knitting. I think someone in there said something about I've got my Go South knits. Yeah, it could be Ruth, I imagine, saying that, but you've got your Go South knits, and that could be, if you're in the southern hemisphere, of course, the further south you go, the colder it gets. If you're in the northern hemisphere, you might have your Go North knits, but it's definitely go deep, your deep winter knits. And often when we hear knitting, we think of deep winter knits. But I think more of us are falling in love with the idea of summer knits, and we can see how we can really flesh our wardrobes out and actually knit stuff to wear all year round. Not just knit all year round, but wear knitting all year round. I think that's becoming more and more and more popular. But the other thing to think about is we have these two shoulders. A lot of us, I think there are not many of us who just go summer, winter. Not many. Most people have a little change. And so we have these two shoulders, some are longer than others, where we have that kind of not quite sure what I'm doing today, spring and autumn weather, where we have another whole collection that we could make for ourselves. But just a few. You don't need like gazillions of knits. But if you just had one or two you could pull out at that time, it just would mean that your handmade wardrobe could then be a 365-day wardrobe, because if you add sewing to it, of course, that extends it too. But if even your knitted wardrobe could actually see you through the entire year, and that's really satisfying. What a lovely, lovely goal, I think, to be able to produce clothing that takes you round the whole year, but not the same piece of clothing, obviously. You have different things at different times, and I think they'll last longer. And if they do last longer, you want to get them right to start with. So again, we come back to the whole idea of who you're knitting for. What size am I? What do I even like to wear? What is a classic style for me? What is something I can make? Like this one with this cardigan that I made, how many years ago did I make that cardigan? 8 years ago, 7. I mean, the original I made was 10 years ago. And then I made that one since, and I'm still wearing it. It's still like a classic thing for me. It's a style that I love. And so I think I'll probably wear it. Well, I can't imagine when I'll stop wanting to wear it. But if you can just hone down and really feel good about what you're choosing, I think that's hugely satisfying as well, because you think, I don't care. I don't even care what everyone else wants to wear. I don't even care. I just got to wear what I want to wear. But yeah, imagine 365 knits, one every day. Yes, that would be quite a goal. I haven't got there myself, but I think even if you just had, how many would you need? Like if you had 2 for the winter, 2 for the summer, and then 1 each for the shoulders, that would be a good start, wouldn't it? Because that would be 6 knits. If you had 6 knits, a couple for the winter, a couple for the summer, and then 1 each, and then a couple for the shoulders, so you could wear them, in the shoulders. That is a really good start, I think, of having this wardrobe that will take you through, sun, rain, shine, whatever, that takes you all the way through. I think it's a lovely, lovely goal. Yes, you do. Spring and autumn are half of the year. Yes, definitely half of the year. They certainly are here, aren't they? Seems they go on forever and ever. Okay, everybody, I thought I'd pop in and show you those, because it's always fun to look at knitting, and remind you that the doors for Wardrobe Toolbox, don't forget, you can still sign up. So jump in. There's heaps of new people have joined this time. It's going to be really nice to welcome them in properly when the doors have opened. And if you have any questions about it, about Wardrobe Toolbox, do fire them off to us. We're happy to answer them. But don't forget to go back and look at some of the other podcasts that I just talked about in the last few weeks. You can find them on my blog, under blog. If you go to trudymyrtle.com blog, you can find them there. You can, if you sign up to my newsletter, I always send you the replay of the podcast on my newsletter. And you can, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you can find them there as well. Now, I have noticed that I haven't had any YouTubers today, so I really apologize for that, because whatever this has decided that I needed to reconfigure myself at YouTube, which I don't, because I'm already there. So anyway, I'm sorry for everyone that missed out on YouTube today for the live, but hopefully you'll catch me on the replay. You need a room just for your knits. I think I actually do need a room. I don't even want to show you. It's just getting ridiculous how many knits I have, but I actually thoroughly enjoy it. Hi, Shona. Nice to see you. All right, everybody, have a lovely, lovely week. Do lots of knitting. I will see you same time, same place next week on Thursday for another chat, another Knitterly chat. And I think we have a date for the double time release. I think it's going, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but it's April. It's definitely April. I'm bringing you a beautiful knit in April. Okay, everybody, catch you later. See you later. Bye.